Yes, friends. In the picture you see Carl Jung, the creator of the theory of analytical psychology and the collective unconscious. And in front of him is Abraham Maslow, the creator of the fascinating theory of the pyramid of human needs. These great men are present in the hall, and after a short introduction, we will return and begin our debate with them. Hello. I'm Jefferson, and this is psychology class. So the idea is that during each program, we'll bring in 2 or more prominent psychologists or philosophers and explore a psychological problem that might be relevant to anyone of any age. In the meantime, we'll ask 3 powerful AIs to be our judges and help us with the scoring. Today's topic is about Arman, a 25-year-old Iranian boy who is facing restrictions in Iran and other Muslim countries that prevent boys and girls from communicating. For this reason, Arman has not been able to fulfill his sexual needs well, which is why Arman has become involved in masturbation and porn sites. In this situation, the only solution to solve the problem is marriage, which is impossible due to the poor economic conditions of his country. Today, with the help of artificial intelligence and psychological and philosophical books, we have raised 5 basic and fundamental questions.
Pure evil. It's beautiful.
The scoring process is as follows. After each question, our selected artificial intelligences answer our questions based on 2 criteria: scientificity and therapeutic application, from 0 to 10. 1. Being scientific from the perspective of scientific psychology means that a theory or statement is testable, is replicable, is supported by empirical evidence and data, is unambiguous. Therapeutic application. That is, this theory or idea is useful in actual therapy, gives the therapist real insight, can be used in psychotherapy, helps the client manage their thoughts, and becomes more adaptable, calmer. Question number 1. Why was Arman drawn to masturbation and porn instead of experiencing a human and romantic relationship?
He doesn't have the basic needs in my pyramid. He's stuck at the lower levels, like economic security and belonging, and can't move himself toward love, intimacy, or fulfillment. But I believe it's not just about need. It's about a disconnection from the anima.
What is the anima? In Carl Jung's theory, the anima is the feminine part of the male psyche, which includes the qualities of tenderness, empathy, intuition, and deep feelings. Jung believed that this part of the psyche is a bridge between a man's unconscious and his inner world. The anima usually manifests itself in dreams, fantasies, or a man's emotional attraction to women. The integration of the anima leads to psychological balance and personal growth in a man.
Arman has never been comfortable with his feminine side. Porn is a projection for him, an unconscious struggle to connect with the woman within him. So you see the root in the unconscious, but I see it in the structure of society and the injustice of needs. If a healthy person isn't allowed to fall in love, they resort to unhealthy ways. And these unhealthy practices are important signs. I would say that every porn he watches, every masturbation he does, is his unconscious cry for contact with his own soul.
Question number 2. Do governments and regimes, especially in countries like Iran, have a duty to provide the opportunity for healthy fulfillment of sexual needs?
Without a doubt, we are making people mentally ill by creating a society that denies them their true needs. The state must be the guarantor of sexual health, love, and marriage.
I agree, but not just on the external level. The government should educate, not just restrict. Sexual need is not just an instinct. It is a way to find oneself.
For this reason, we must rethink social structures. Young people should have healthy romantic experiences, not be repressed, isolated, or extreme.
And more importantly, to be alone with oneself. When a young person lives in the shadows.
What is shadow? The shadow in Jungian theory is the dark, repressed, and unaccepted part of our personality. This part includes traits, desires, or emotions that are not consistent with our ideal image of ourselves. We usually deny the shadow or project it onto others. Recognizing and accepting the shadow is essential for personal growth and achieving psychic wholeness. The shadow is not the enemy. It is a vital part of the unconscious that holds a lot of energy.
Any law is ineffective, but when the light within him is lit, his choices are transformed.
Question number 3. Arman blames himself. He says he is deviant. Is his feeling of guilt normal or harmful?
Guilt can be a guide, but here it is damaged because it is the result of cultural pressures and the suppression of needs. This has affected his psychological development.
Exactly. This feeling of guilt is a product of the harsh parent within him. In his unconscious, it is as if there is an inner father who constantly scolds him.
He needs unconditional love, not judgment. Everyone should say that being healthy means accepting all human needs.
And beyond that, he needs to be helped to see this inner parent, to talk to him, and perhaps even to transform him.
Question number 4. Arman is experiencing duality, a strong desire for a romantic relationship, and at the same time shame about his body and sex. Why?
Because society has taught him that love is sacred and sex is sinful. This separation has left him in a state of conflict. What a person needs is to experience both in a healthy way.
Here we are faced with an archetypal opposition, the Madonna and the prostitute. For the ideal, woman is either pure and unattainable, or simply a sexual object. This split has polarized his psyche.
We need to restore the wholeness of the person. Anyone can be both dignified and happy in a relationship. The two are not opposites.
And he must be helped to unify the image of the feminine in his unconscious. a woman who is both a source of inspiration and a source of passion.
Question number 5. Finally, what should be done to treat this situation and achieve peace? Is the solution external or internal?
It is part of the external. The ideal must find a supportive environment, a safe friendship, a therapist, or a real relationship. Without space to experience and grow, the mind is drawn into isolation.
And part of it is deeply internal. He must journey into his unconscious, perhaps through dream analysis, writing, meditation, or analytical psychotherapy. He must see why women are both desirable and terrifying to him.
I believe in natural growth. If the soil is right, the seed will grow. We just need to remove unnecessary pressures and give the person space.
And I believe in the hero's journey. The ideal must go through the darkness within, not to remove the shadow, but to love it.
As you can see, in the area of scientific theory, Maslow is significantly ahead of Carl, which was predictable given the theory of the pyramid of needs. But what is even more strange is that in the area of therapeutic application, Carl Jung still holds the trump card and is the more suitable option from a therapeutic and analytical perspective. But unlike the previous debate between Freud and Carl, this time in the overall result, with a slight difference, it is Abraham Maslow who is our winner today and is chosen by our reasoning and artificial intelligence.